Because I'm paranoid and my anxiety makes my paranoia feral, I ran my own writing through multiple AI detectors. One said it was almost entirely AI, one said it was half, and one said it was 100% human. Same writing style, same voice, and that's a problem. So today we're talking about how to protect yourself. Let's get into it. Hey beautiful people, welcome back to my channel, The Writing Desk Diaries. I'm Danny, the person behind D. Lavelle Books, and I'm so glad you decided to join me today. In today's video, we're talking about AI accusations, false positives, and what you can actually do to protect yourself and your work, because this is happening to too many authors, and the tools being used to make those accusations are complete and utter unreliable garbage, in my opinion. So I want to start with what AI detectors actually are, and I'll leave some links below in my description so that you can read the research for yourself, because understanding this is the foundation to everything else. So AI detectors don't actually know if a human wrote something. They simply analyze patterns, sentence structure, word frequency, predictability of language, and flag writing that statistically resembles AI output. That, mind you, was trained on human writing, which means certain writing styles will always be more vulnerable to false positives. For example, highly polished prose, distinctive rhythmic sentence structure, heavy use of similes and metaphors, dialect, neurodivergent writing patterns, consistent voice. And ironically, the more developed your voice is, along with the consistency of your patterns, the more likely a detector might flag you. I want to say that again. A strong, consistent, developed writing voice can trigger an AI detector. Let that sink in for a minute. And here's the part that should bother everyone. AI was trained, again, on human writing. Classic literature, contemporary fiction, everything in between. Hemingway, Toni Morrison, Austen, all of it went into training generative AI. So when an AI detector looks for AI patterns, it's looking for patterns it learned from human writers and then flagging human writers for writing like human writers. That's circular logic, like wild circular logic. AI is being used to detect AI based on patterns AI learned from humans. Frankly, that should bother all of us, and we should take those results with a grain of salt. If you haven't heard of the Mia Ballard situation, look it up after this video. Again, I'll put some links in my description so you can check them out yourself. It's a perfect example of what AI accusations can do to an author's career and reputation. It also makes it extremely clear why having your receipts in order before something happens isn't paranoia, it's smart preparation. CYA at all times. Here are a few practical steps you can take to protect yourself. Number 1, document your process. Keep your draft history. Don't delete old versions. History is actual evidence. Record your writing process casually. Voice memos, notes app, even a quick video of yourself writing informally. Timestamps are the point. Keep your research notes, brainstorming docs, and outline drafts. The messy stuff that existed before a clean manuscript is proof of a human process. I use my journal app. I do voice memos and do a brain dump sometimes. I type out my fragmented thoughts, so I basically do a combination of things. Know what detectors say about your work before anyone else does. Now, I know some people may say don't feed your work into a detector because you're training it, but doing so beforehand is proof that detectors are unreliable. So do it or don't. That's your decision to make. If you do, screenshot every contradictory result, because those screenshots are your evidence that the tools themselves are unreliable, and you'll want that documentation if you ever have to defend yourself publicly. They're also evidence that these tools are unreliable. I'll leave links again in the description. Next, protect your professional relationships. If you work with editors or any contractors, add a no AI clause to your contracts. protect your work and your reputation. Here's where you can turn if something does happen. The Authors Guild is one of the most important organizations for writers right now. They offer legal resources and contract review. They are actively advocating on AI policy at a legislative level. And they launched the Human Written Logo Initiative, which is a way for authors to signal to readers that their work is human created. They also have community support for authors facing exactly these kinds of accusations. I know I preach about how to do things on a dime or with very little funds. The membership costs money, and that's a real barrier for some. For me personally, I'm not in a position to join, but it's worth knowing it exists so you can plan for it when you're ready. It's a valuable resource to have in your back pocket. There are also some genre-specific organizations like the Science Fiction and Fantasy Writers Association and the Romance Writers of America. If you write in a specific genre, your professional organization may have legal resources and member support for situations like AI accusations. It's good to know your resources before you need them. That's the whole point, and I'll put the links to these organizations in my description as well. So what should you do if you're ever faced with AI accusations? I would say don't panic, don't delete anything, and don't respond publicly until you've documented everything. Again, your receipts are your defense, and you can't use receipts if you delete things in a moment of anger or anxiety. Document before you respond, then respond calmly with evidence from a place of preparation, not reaction. And I know some people may say don't respond, just ignore it, but the decision is ultimately yours if you decide to respond or not. You don't need to prove yourself to anyone, but think it through and do what's best for you and your brand. Let me know what you think in the comments. Did you find this helpful? Are there any other good preparation tips for indie authors or authors in general to take in the event they experience AI accusations before they happen that I didn't mention? Share in the comments. I am really curious to hear your thoughts. Don't let AI accusations stop you from writing, creating, being your authorly self. The world needs your writing, your voice, in whatever way you choose to tell your stories. Thank you for being here. I hope you'll stick around so we can learn and grow together. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And until next time, happy creating.